Hey everybody, this is an excerpt from my training log, February to May 2005. This actually goes through July of that year. However, February to May is very detailed now, and I'm happy to share it with you because it's my transition back into the wrestling world after 10 years off the mat. This particular block of training was crucial in my transformation to become an overall well-rounded, balanced athlete. I do believe athletes are their own best coaches, and this was my opportunity to find that out in this 12-week period. During this 12-week period, I totaled 992 miles, averaging 82 miles a week. The previous year, I had run averaging over 100 miles a week, and I realized it really broke my body down, especially because I was running the same intensity level over and over and over again, which puts a lot of wear and tear on your body. And so what I did during those 12 weeks, I reduced the overall volume, I incorporated all 5 energy systems, and I added and supplemented the training with stretching, mobility, and stability drills, which I hadn't done before. I included my lifetime personal records from 150 meters through 22 miles, as well as my bench press, squat, and power clean and press records. As an athlete, I don't think we're ever really satisfied, but I was fairly happy with my times. I wish I could have run a lot faster in many of them. In fact, I know I could have if I stayed injury-free. But for the most part, I felt like I was pretty diversified. I had good leg speed and strength, but I also felt like I had good aerobic foundation, which is the basis of all athletics and a measure of your fitness level. All right, let's get right into it. Week 1, nothing crazy happened. I had taken a month off from being sick and jumped right into training again. Week 2, nothing crazy here. A couple medium long runs and a good track workout. It was snowing this time of the year, which is normal in Boston. So you make do with what you got. It took me just 3 weeks to build back up to a normal weekly structure of a long run, a medium run, and a bunch of easy runs with a hard workout. Even though I took very detailed notes after every workout, I do recall this week being very, very easy and felt really good about my training. Rolling into week 4, a natural down week after the previous 3 weeks of volume were up, you'll see I added in another intense workout here for 3 workouts a week, including a 3x1 mile, the basis of any good runner's programming. Establishing baseline workouts is very important as an athlete, so you can always reflect back, see how you felt differently, see how you progressed along the way, and see where you can improve. In week 5, the mileage spiked up again over 90 miles. I kept 3 workouts and separated everything by quality miles. I didn't just put in garbage miles in, quality miles to recover. The De Oliveira drills were something that my coach gave me, and I felt confident when I did these, and I was able to run some really fast times in between doing a bunch of drills. In week 6, my mileage went up to 95 miles. I had a 20-mile long run. I got my first Michigan workout in, including a medium long run directly after, and then got a threshold workout as well as the De Oliveira drills. The Michigan workout is something Coach Ron Warhorst of Michigan developed. I modified it and made it to work for me, but it's a mile followed by a 4-minute recovery, a 1200 followed by a 3-minute recovery, an 800 followed by a 2-minute recovery, and then a 400. Important to note here, I did the Michigan workout 3 times in the 12-week period stretch, and on the 3rd attempt, I was much faster than the first attempt. Week 7, another down week, no long run, but I did the 3x1 miles again, this time going much faster than the 3 weeks prior. Funny and true story, something that happened in this week is I hit a pedestrian on my bike, probably going about 25 miles an hour down a hill, Boylston Street in Boston, and he was crossing the street when he had a do not cross sign on. I had a green light, and I hit him pretty hard. Like, he fell directly backwards. I had to slam on my brakes, and I hurt my lower back in the process, but at the time it was pretty funny. Okay, rolling into week 8 here. From week 7, it looks like I was dealing with some lower back pain from that bike accident, but bounced back pretty quickly, ran a pretty good 20 miler in an hour, 57 minutes, and had a good workout, 8 by 1,000 meters with just 2 minutes of recovery. I remember this workout very well because it was very snowy and cold, and I couldn't believe I had run a workout that hard under those conditions. This is week 9 and a down week. My allergies were acting up pretty bad. Every April, my allergies started acting up. But this April, I wasn't going to let it bother me. I ran the Michigan workout a lot faster than I did a couple weeks back. 440 mile, 319, 1200, a little bit slower, 209 half mile, and a 62-second quarter mile. So I was happy with that workout. But I do remember my allergies being pretty bad, but I wasn't going to let it stop me. Okay, on to week 10. This looks to be another down week. No Sunday long run. However, it looks like I read Jerry Lindgren's book and I got inspired here. These are some of the mental breakthroughs I'm talking about. I always knew this about myself, but this made it very clear to me that other people were thinking the same way. I never knew they were. For me, running was always about enjoying it, to do it for other people that just simply could not enjoy it like I did. At the time, I was thirsty to learn from other people, to know what their mindset was. And this particular week, it looks like a decent week. I did a 4-mile time trial, 20 minutes, 26 seconds. Not extremely fast, but for me, that was a 20-second personal record. Week 11, this says week 10, but it is week 11. It's a volume week. I ran a 20 miler, my fastest 20 miler ever in an hour, 55 minutes. Still remember to this day how I felt. It's funny how I can look back and reflect and still feel the same way that I felt at that time. And I felt extremely good and felt confident. The next day I ran a 10 miler under 60 minutes, then ran up Beacon Hill. Did a hill workout there, the same hill that Bill Rogers ran up during the Freedom Trail race. 14 miler in there, and then 24 200-meter repeats. Just a good volume week, and ran 1,000 meters at the end of that one. Okay, on to week 12. This says week 11, but it is week 12. Looks like I was having trouble with allergies again. I did get my 20-mile long run in, but the mileage was down to 84 miles. But I still managed to get a couple good workouts in. Doesn't look like anything too spectacular here. But the allergies seems like they really hit me at this time, and it prevented me from getting a good Saturday workout in, as you can see. This is the last week in my 13-week buildup. I remember at this time I was getting pretty frustrated with my allergies. It was very inconsistent the way I was feeling. Being able to actually get out there and work out and run the way I wanted. I'd have some days that were good, some days that were bad. And this particular week, I had probably had my best workout ever running the Michigan. A mile in 4:34, a 1,200 in 3:12, an 800 in 2:09, and then ripping off a 61-second 400. But at the end of this week, it looks like I only had 70 miles, but at the end of this week, my Achilles started bothering me, and I think this was the demise of my running career, to be honest with you, because at this point, this was when I decided to transition to wrestling again. You can see in the following week, my Achilles was acting up, didn't do a whole lot, tried to take it easy, but the Achilles was really bad, and I'm sure it was from running these hard workouts, and my body just wasn't holding up at the time. This was by far the best block of training that I've ever had in my running career. The injury really put a halt to my enjoyment of running for the sake of its simplicity. But you'll see below, after this, the following 6 weeks led up to my first wrestling tournament in 10 years at the age of 29. And from there, a whole different story. This Bob Scholl quote, he was an Olympic gold medalist. Like death and just about anything in life, you get to roll over it. It's the only way to grow and progress as a person. This kept a lot of things in perspective for me, especially when I was going through this transition in my life. Leaving my love of running, it was really hard, and getting into another sport that I had not been in for 10 years. These 6 weeks, I was still running, but it was more or less for weight management. I was trying to cut 20 pounds to wrestle 125 pounds. It's a whole nother story. If you want to hear it, please like this video, please share it, and drop some comments. I appreciate all your support, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.